Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. As we continue on the road to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, we have the greatest NXT Championship title matches in TakeOver history. One special note, there was at TakeOver Chicago, there was a United Kingdom tournament match, United Kingdom title match. Was really good. With doing the tag titles, non-title, women's title, now NXT title, there really wasn't a place for this, so kind of an honorable mention. It was the United Kingdom Championship on the line. It was champion Tyler Bate versus challenger Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne winning the United Kingdom title, excuse me. I gave it 4.5. A lot of people are saying 4 3/4. Yeah, it was that good of a match. When the United Kingdom division comes to the WWE Network, it's going to be just unbelievable. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, Joseph Connors, Mark Andrews. These guys are just so talented. There's so much talent in the United Kingdom that we don't get to see here in America. So hopefully Progress Wrestling, Revolve I think is one of the other big ones over there. Hopefully these get to the network. We can watch them. The NXT United Kingdom division takes off, because I think it will. So, to the NXT title. The number 10 on the list comes from TakeOver London. We had Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. Finn Balor retaining his title in a 4-star match. Number 9 comes from Brooklyn 1. It was a ladder match. The champion Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens. Finn Balor retaining his title versus Kevin Owens. I gave it 4 1/4. Number 8, TakeOver San Antonio. Bobby Roode versus champion Shinsuke Nakamura. The challenger Bobby Roode winning the NXT title in a 4 1/4 star match. Next, number 7, TakeOver Toronto. We had Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke winning the title from Samoa Joe here. Obviously, Joe winning the title from Nakamura at Toronto. Nakamura losing the title at San Antonio from Bobby Roode. Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura are both 2-time NXT champions. The only 2 guys that have been multiple-time champions. The only people to ever hold any NXT title more than once, Joe, Nakamura, both NXT champions twice, and the Revival won the tag titles twice. The rematch from NXT TakeOver Toronto was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. We had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. Shinsuke Nakamura retaining his title. Winning the title from Samoa Joe. Those two kind of flipped that title back and forth there for a little bit. That was Brooklyn 2. I gave it 4 1/4. Next, number 5 on the list comes from TakeOver War Games. We had champion Drew McIntyre versus Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade Cien Almas has been in TakeOver for 2 years, or NXT for a couple of years now. When he first came in, yeah, he had a background from CMLL, very talented guy. I knew then, someday this guy is going to be a champion. He goes into War Games. He, has Zelda, is that her name, or Serena, whatever her name is, his manager, which is Austin Aries' wife in real life. She comes in. He turns kind of heelish. He starts winning matches. He wins the NXT title, just to lose it at TakeOver Philadelphia, because I think Johnny Wrestling's going to win it there. I give it 4 1/4. Great match. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both these superstars. Next on the list, number 4, Fatal 4-Way. NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way. Was it NXT? Yeah, Fatal 4-Way. It was a Fatal 4-Way match for the title. It was champion Neville versus Sami Zayn versus Tyson Kidd versus Tyler Breeze. And Neville retaining his NXT title. 4.5 star. Next, number 3 came from Brooklyn 3. It was also a 4.5 star. It was Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. Brooklyn 3 was this past, what was it, August? Brooklyn was SummerSlam weekend. Drew McIntyre winning the NXT title in his return, or his debut in NXT, his return to WWE. He beat Bobby Roode for the NXT title. 4.5 star match. And number 2 on the list comes from TakeOver Orlando. Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was the rematch from NXT TakeOver San Antonio, where Bobby Roode retained his NXT title. 4.5 star. I know the rematch was better than the initial match. Doesn't happen often. Bobby Roode winning, retaining his title. Shinsuke moving on to SmackDown, and eventually Bobby Roode moving on to SmackDown. And the best NXT Championship match in NXT TakeOver history, Revolution, NXT TakeOver Revolution, Sami Zayn versus Neville. Sami Zayn winning his first WWE NXT title, his first ever world title, basically. Him getting congratulated in the ring by his best friend, Kevin Owens, and then Owens turned it on, and we all know what happened from there. But it was a 4 3/4 star match, one of the best match in NXT TakeOver history. Hopefully, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia will have matches just as this. We have NXT title is champion Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Wrestling Johnny Gargano. Hopefully that match makes this list. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.